We will never forget that game. I think that was the day that most Nigerians started bragging and saying, God is a Nigerian. We will never, and there's, I mean, we composed several songs about that game when Nigeria beat Brazil. Let me start with you, Laddie. I'm sure you'll never forget that game. I think it was Flavio Conceição that scored the brace for Brazil in the first half. There was Nigeria scored. Bebeto also scored for Brazil, but there was a deflection by Roberto Carlos that gave Nigeria the only goal in the first half. But in the second half, it was Victor Ikpeba and Kanu Nwankwo. I mean, that day I will never forget Kanu's performance.
I think the turning point of that game actually, KBT, was when Wilson Oruma came in. And he bumped into Ronaldo, and Ronaldo was substituted because the Brazilians were 3 goals up, and they felt like they already got the game in the bag.
Yeah.
You know, and after the taking out of Ronaldo, the Nigerians took the initiative. And don't forget, Mario Zagallo, the coach of the Brazilian national side, there, he said that he got to a stage he couldn't even decide, he couldn't even know the pattern the Nigerians were playing because when the Brazilians were 3 goals up, the boys said to themselves, "Look, we have nothing to lose. Let's just take the game to them and play as if we're hungry." And they took the game to them, and Zagallo couldn't even decide the pattern they were playing. The boys played up to like 6 different patterns because they were just playing the game just because they felt, look, there's nothing to lose. Why should we be scared? Let's just take the game to them. And luckily, we got that goal by Victor Ikpeba, and Kanu scored that wonderful goal that got the game to 3-3 at regulation time. And we scored that winning goal that that made FIFA scrap what is called the goal.
What was funny about that game was funny about the results was, I mean, we were massive underdogs. In the initial part of the competition, Brazil had beaten us in the group stages. So, I mean, everybody was expecting Brazil to win that game. Matthew, as Nigerians, we would like to believe that God is a Nigerian. It was God that did it. We're very spiritual people. But seriously, what was the turning point in that game? What was the game changer?
Like Laddie said, taking Ronaldo out. Ronaldo was one young man. You remember in '94, he didn't participate, but conquered with the Brazil. The all-conquering Brazil team that was led by Romario. And as soon as Romario stepped out of the scene, he stepped into the big shoe and it was seamless. So Ronaldo at the time, Ronaldo da Lima was the Lima of the world. The whole world was worshipping at his feet, and it felt like this is the best thing. When they came into the Olympics game, remember we had not gone to the African Nations Cup in January in South Africa due to political upheaval with the different in South Africa. Nigerians were hungry for football. We won the African Nations Cup in Tunisia. We were hungry for football. We wanted to do something. When we had Brazil in our group, it was always going to be difficult. Maybe we'll play second best to them. True, we'll play second best to them. Came out 1-0 losers against them and qualified. When we got to play them, we were very happy that at least we got all the way to the semi-finals. And if we were going to lose at all, we'll lose to the best country in the world. There was no shame in losing to Brazil. We've been losing to them every time we made them at the Olympics. So it's not something strange. But this time around, true to the story again, we were 3 goals to 1 down. We had the penalty, Okocha wasted it. Or probably Nigeria lost the penalty. And then at that point, something came up in that game that was magical. The Nigerian spirit. I think that was the moment we start realizing that there is something called the Nigerian spirit. When we're pushed to the wall, when it seems like everybody has left us for dead, like there is no good Samaritan coming on the road to heal us and pay our medical bills, we can stand up and fight on the inside and come out and show that stuff. That's what got Mario Zagallo so confused. He was perplexed. What tactics are you going to use against a team that is coming at you like they are Vietnam soldiers? They're not giving up. If you kill one, 20 will arise. If you break one down, 100 will arise. That day, it seems like 150 million Nigerians were lining up behind these guys and they were playing. And the beautiful thing is, back home in Nigeria, it was late in the night. We all to be asleep. So there was synergy between the fans back home and all of the people in Africa. Africa was backing us. Remember, after that game, there was a public holiday in Ghana. Africa was backing us to do it. Just do this once for us. This Brazil, let's break this genes of Brazil.
And if you can take that from you, don't forget that when we met in the group stages, we lost by just a lone goal. And it was a very close-knitted game. The boys were not even supposed to have lost that game. It was because of the mistake of Sunday Oliseh then. Because there was this ball, he was supposed to block in front of the 18, but was trying to show the referee that he's not playing rough. And that was why Ronaldo had the opportunity to play that shot, and they got that only goal that separated the two teams. So when we met in the semi-final, the boys were like confident that, look, if we could lose to these guys 1-0 in the group stage, then we can take them out in the semi-final. And getting all the way to the semi-final, we had nothing to lose.
Well, I'm sure most of you gold in soccer at the Olympics. Now, I'm sure most of you would wish that our current team, our current Super Eagles, can relive that spirit. That's what we miss in the current Nigerian team. I can't wait for the day when Nigeria will play another game like that. I'm sure it will happen. Maybe sooner than later. Maybe sooner than my guys here in the studio think. But hey, one day.
Well, I don't see that happening so soon, because don't forget that team evolved from 1990.
Anyway, I prophesy that one day a Nigerian team will do it. Nigeria will beat Brazil. Nigeria will beat Spain at the World Cup and even lift the World Cup. We'll be right back.